Hi there everyone, Russ Douglas 222 from the British Shooting Show 2025. Friday was great, we're now on Saturday the 15th and then tomorrow Sunday the 16th of February 2025. I'm here both days and loads to see. Thanks for watching, let's get started. Hi there everyone, Russ Douglas 222. I'm here on day 2 of the British Shooting Show 2025. I'm on the Daystate stand and subtle hint of what I'm about to show you. The man himself, Tony Belas, is here to talk us through their brand new Blackwolf. Hi Tony, how you doing?
Very well, thanks.
Good man. So what have you got to show us on this very subtle Daystate Blackwolf stand?
Yeah, we go low-key here. Yeah,
no.
We have the Daystate Blackwolf, of course. We've been developing this over the last couple of years. It's a mechanical rifle. We're known for our electronic rifles, but people forget that we do a whole range of mechanical rifles, notably the BRK Ghost, Daystate Huntsman. So we've got a new mechanical Daystate, and this is the Daystate platform. It's a modular platform. It's more of a platform than a rifle. It's a base gun,
right.
And you can add all sorts of accessories and chains. So you can buy one model, and then, for instance, you could buy a bottle version like this, and later on you might decide that you prefer a cylinder, and you can buy the cylinder.
And there's a cylinder version.
And there's a cylinder version, which vice versa you could change that to a bottle, and it's designed so you can do it.
Right.
So everybody has their preferences. I prefer a bottle. Other people like the look of cylinders. Everybody's different.
Each their own.
And talking about differences, we have different stocks. So there is a carbon, a grey carbon stock, which you'll find, you can take a picture of in a minute, just off the stand at the moment.
Right.
This beautiful laminate stock in a grey laminate.
Right.
It's kind of top of the range one here.
Nice glossy.
And then there's also walnut for you classical walnut lovers.
Right.
I'm not going to say tree huggers, but if you're going to hug a tree, hug a walnut tree.
Right.
And that's a beautiful piece of sustainable forest walnuts.
Right. Awesome.
Brought in from Manelli, who deal with all this, very eco-friendly company. Everything's eco-friendly in our gun, and with the wood that we use.
Yep.
This is a birch laminate, which is stained down to grey. Comes from a Finnish supplier, and then machined in Italy. I just got it. It's hard to tell on the camera, but what a beautiful piece of work.
Yes.
Yeah, and you've got this lovely logo where you can see the grain of the laminate through there, and obviously if it's a walnut one, you'll see the grain through there, and then you've got the swirling of the laminate. Beautiful stock. The stock aside, what you've got is a brand new action here.
So brand new mechanical action.
Yeah, there's nothing left over from anything we've ever done before. This is completely new. Okay. It's in a Daystate style to keep it looking like a Daystate. No point in giving up our heritage. But we've added a Picatinny rail on this rifle. It's a new rifle. We have M-lock fittings, all the latest fittings on the front. It's regulated, of course, with a humour regulator. Right. It's a new style of regulator for us. On the FAC guns, you can adjust the regulator without removing stock. Okay. We have a regulated gauge on it, so you can see your adjustments on there. Yep. It has a fabulous art developed barrel, all calibers. 12 foot-pound is 17722, and we go 25 and 30 for the FAC caliber. Right. We have 17-inch, 23-inch, and 28-inch barrels available, which in metric is 430 millimeters, 600 millimeters, and 711 millimeters. Right. The 711 millimeter barrel is also a slug version. Right. It's a dedicated slug barrel for those people. And we only do it in the long barrel because we recognise that you need to get the slugs going. You need the efficiency, yeah. So we're using a very high power. What will this gun do in FAC? Well, in 30 caliber, it goes up to 135 foot-pounds. Right, okay. So this is a tiny little gun, and doing 135 foot-pounds, more than a rimfire. Yeah. So that's something that, and with a 7.62 caliber bullet or projectile, whatever you want to call it. And that's got some impact on it. And we've managed to get that into this. It's got a very large secondary chamber. Right, like a plenum. Yeah, I think a plenum is something you find on a banjo. But anyway, it's a secondary chamber to me. Yeah. And I'm being facetious. No, not at all, not at all. But anyway, so second chamber, very large, larger than on any other Daystate. Right. On the bench rest version, which has got over on the other side of the stand, which comes out later, that has secondary chamber extensions on it to get even more power. Right. We're not even sure what that upper power limit will be on those at this moment. Oh, right. Because that gun's not out yet. Well, just before you took over, Nigel was showing me this, and
the trigger is very nice.
Yeah, it's got a very unique trigger. It's a cartridge trigger that can come out and be put in. It can even be adjusted out of the gun.
Right.
I don't know why you do that, but it's there.
Right.
You can adjust it in place. But what's interesting about this trigger is it has a range of adjustment from 8 ounces up to just over 3 pounds. Now most airgun triggers start to get creepy at about 2 pounds.
Right.
This one's still crisp at 3.
Brilliant.
So we've got a trigger that, if you're a twitching shotgun shooter, used to the recoil and you kind of twitch a bit when you pull the trigger, then you can set the trigger to be, what you're familiar with.
Yeah.
But if you're a refined airgun shooter, such as ourselves, then you would have it down at 8 ounces and just fire it off. You'd be really crisp at that.
Right. Would there be muzzle flip with a 7.62?
You'll get a push. You don't get a muzzle flip. You get an expanding air recoil.
Right.
It's quite weird. It's not like on a firearm where you get a sharp push.
It's a nudge.
You get a nudge. They definitely move. It slows down your shooting, because I've done a speed shoot against somebody with a 12 pound 177 and lost because of the recoil characteristic meant that I couldn't get back on the aim as quick as he could.
Okay.
But it's not a recoil. It's an expanding air recoil, equal and opposite force. You get that feeling.
Good old Newton, Isaac Newton.
Yeah, he knew
action.
what was going on. Yeah. So there we are. So, but you do on the 12 foot pound, you don't feel anything. On the 30, 40 foot pound, 30 foot pound, you can't tell the difference between a 177 and 12 foot pound. It's just what happens on the bottom end when you hear the bang.
Right.
At 45, which is where they go to in 22 caliber, you get about 48.22 with a short barrel. You definitely get a movement, but it's still not a recoil. It's just a slight movement.
Okay. Yeah. I can see a power adjuster at the back.
Yeah, 20-stage power adjuster. This is geared, so it's a worm drive in here. So it's a unique design to Daystate. I don't think we bothered to paint it. Maybe we did, but it's instead of it just being a ratchet design as you get on other makes.
Yes.
No names, no patent. But we've got a proper worm drive with a ball bearing which is geared to give you more, because it's not linear on the spring. You have to compress it harder as you go further. So that's got that in there as well. And it's 20 pounds. On a 12 foot pound one, each click is about 5 feet per second. Right. On an FAC, it's somewhat more. And on an FAC gun, it goes down to about 50%.
Right, okay.
So you've got quite a range. Whatever your high power was, you can get down to about 50%.
Right, okay. And I see that you've gone to Picatinny, and you've got some sort of channels in the Picatinny there. So my other question earlier first question was ask you about the inclination. And you explain.
Yeah, so it's 0.3 of a degree, which in foreign speak is 20 MOA.
Yep.
And 20 MOA is what people want.
Yeah.
So we put 20 MOA on it.
Right.
Actually, for an air gun, probably more like 27 you need, but 20 MOA gets you a long way to where you want it, because we don't know what scope they've got and what distances they're putting it.
Yeah.
But that will give the scope a fighting chance for long range shooting,
Yep.
to be able to see down the curve of the pellet and not have to shim the back of the scope or use
Right.
adjustable mounts.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you. And you've got a barrel tensioner.
Yeah, so on the walnut and on the tactical version, which is over there, I'm sure we're going to have a look at in a minute.
Yep.
And on the laminate, you get a tension barrel as standard.
Right.
On the base rifle, on the Blackwolf itself with the carbon grey stock, it doesn't come standard, but it is an option extra you can buy.
Right.
And what they fitted is, on the Ghost replica, the world class Faddy replica we call it. That
Right.
one had a tension barrel system standard.
Right.
And we've used that knowledge from our accuracy research team to put a tension barrel on this.
Right.
Now most air guns you can flip the barrel, can't you?
Yeah.
I'm flipping virtually nothing here.
Yeah. Two don't move together.
It's just very, very rigid,
I-
and that helps with everything.
On the other one, when I got here, Nigel did unscrew the
Yeah.
outer. So you've got a carbon fibre sleeve here that unscrews, and then underneath there was another carbon fibre
Yeah,
sleeve,
the carbon,
and that's the
tension,
tensioner.
That's factory tension, so it's not adjustable in this gun. They
Right.
know now what the torque setting is to make it work. So we now factory set that, and it doesn't need adjusting. On the World Replica Ghost, it was adjustable, so you could tune it.
Right.
But on these short barrels, on these guns, they don't need it. So
Right.
we've set it.
Right.
So, and we would give that torque setting to anybody who buys one as an extra.
Right. And just before I forget, the prices wise,
on the 1795.
So that's the carbon grey.
Which we'll go and look at in a second.
Yes, that's right. The I think Matt Manning's here holding it, so maybe you can get Matt Manning on.
Oh, right,
the man
okay.
himself. And 2550 is this one,
right?
With full spec, and then you've got 2250 in between with the walnut,
right,
and the cylinder. So there's obviously different versions and different barrels and different prices. So these are guide ideas. Shops will have different prices anyway, so just use this as a guide. But generally the carbon fibre bottle is £100 cheaper than the alloy cylinder version.
Oh right, the bottle's cheap.
Yeah, I know, it's unusual, but
I always expected the other way around. So,
yes, yeah.
So the carbon fibre bottle, that's a 480cc bottle.
Because these are bought in, the price is controlled, and we manufacture these to our own tolerances.
Ah, right. So the alloy cylinder version is £100 more.
£100.
Right.
But
okay.
that's included in that price there.
Right. Okay.
To give you an idea. But again, shop prices will be different.
Right. So if I pause this and you can go and show me
Absolutely.
the synthetic.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Tony, just to finish off,
Right,
Tony's
so this
got.
is the. I mean, if you can have an entry-level Daystate, I mean, it's a bit of a contradiction in terms, isn't it? But this is the standard rifle. It's the Blackwolf carbon grey. It doesn't do too well in camera. Maybe your sophisticated camera will make it look a little bit better.
Well, it looks
on
nice
camera.
to me.
Good. So there we are. It's a beautiful finish.
And you've got laser cuts.
Laser cut, poplar wood underneath, with this textured finish over the top.
Right. Okay.
And then you've got in this sort of silver grey, captures the light. Gun's exactly the same as the other ones. Doesn't have the tensioner on it as standard, but you can put it on. We put one on this just to show it, because I think a lot of people will upgrade to that.
So the RRP on this one is the 1795.
It's the one 1795, which is it sounds expensive, and it is expensive, but it's for what you're getting. The technology that we put into this, the money we put into this, for the limited production that we make. These are not coming off an assembly line. These are hand assembled in the UK.
And how many are you making?
Well, not enough at the moment because we've sold out. But we have a capacity that we can, maybe buy. There's a two-man team making it, so there's only so many they can do in a day.
Right. So it's
even with whips and encouragement, you can only get so much out.
Work harder.
So they've got to be right. They have got to stand with the quality of our product, and they're all hand assembled, every gun is individually tested, as is every Daystate, and no more so than the brand new model, which is absolutely got to be right. So they're going to be in short supply. That's not a salesman saying go get one now, but if you haven't got one now, you're probably going to have to wait.
Right. Okay.
I think they're sold out here, and we're only on day 2.
Right. They're in demand, so there's none left for day 3.
None left for day 2. They wouldn't get one on day 3, sadly. But of course, the team that builds them are over there behind the stand. So we're a small company.
So unless they're building on night shift,
ain't gonna happen. There we are. So we've got. It's a lovely rifle. I'm fortunate enough having been able to shoot this quite a bit because it's been in development for months. And I even got to shoot this in the summer. Can anybody remember the summer? So I got to shoot this when it was before it started to rain and snow.
Blink and you miss it, summer.
But we didn't have production stocks then. The production stocks arrived just in time for a snowstorm. So when you see the promotional photographs, you'll notice it's very white background. Just a beautiful rifle to shoot, incredibly accurate. I haven't shot one yet which hasn't done one hole, really one, not a group, but a hole that you can't tell another pellet's gone through.
Right.
So very accurate.
Fantastic. So thank you. And so that's the Blackwolf. And I'll get the specs will all be available in due course.
They're everywhere. The website's up and running. It's in the catalogue. You can go online to daystate.com and open the Blackwolf page. You see all the specs, all the powers, all the prices. They're all on there. And there's even an inquiry form, which if you fill in, it doesn't commit you to anything, but we will then tell you
when they're
available, where from. So we will look at your address, find a dealer who's near to you, and then let you know that he's got one or he hasn't got one. So we can take the pain away of finding it. Save your time.
Thank you very much for your time, Tony.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you, Russ.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Speak to you soon.